There, got it going. Okay, welcome to the stream tonight, guys. And I'm on remote still, so I'm just checking everything out to make sure that nothing collapses during the process of, well, you know, getting this stuff done. Boy, and I tell you what, it's not easy to do remote anything. Well, I know. Well, okay, you guys already know we got the other YouTube channel, Coach's Kitchen, going on over there on the other. And if I was close to the kitchen, I'd have like the link over there, whatever. But y'all know how to figure out where the hell I'm at. So, welcome to the live stream tonight. Coach Neighbors Pro Se Lawsuit Center. I still like the word scoop. And y'all, as you can see, I ain't changing it. I ain't, and I thought about it. The merchandising people, the marketing people, a lot of little people with, really smart with degrees said, you should have a lawsuit center so people know you're going to get a lawsuit. Yeah, but it's still a school. It's a school because you're learning. You don't just get the lawsuit and go home and sit down. You get the lawsuit package, and then you go to the YouTube channel and you look up the instructional video playlist. Oh, wait. You should have already been in the program and following all of our videos or whatever. Okay, so then to look at the updated instruction video playlist for the lawsuit package that you invested in, and then you kind of figure out how about how we do things. Okay, so that's like the basics. That's the basics. If their program wasn't based on fraud and corruption and all shit, then we wouldn't need more than the basics. But you do. You need more than the basics. Okay, so the other part of it is, what we teach do here is, to roll in a non-conventional strategy where you're actually addressing the reason why they're able to do what they did to you, as opposed to the what. Everybody wants to talk about the what. I have people email me, message me, so does your lawsuit package fit to my state? I'm like, no. Statutes and codes are non-valid laws. Don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies. Fitting the lawsuit package to your state is the biggest reason, well, not the biggest, one of the biggest, yeah, we can go with that. One of the biggest reasons why they're kicking your ass. I'm just saying. And that's my opinion. One of the reasons, okay, so if statutes and codes are not valid laws, because they don't have enacting clauses, titles, or bodies, that's not my opinion. That's a freaking fact. But most people have been indoctrinated to believe all this other bullshit stuff. I'm trying. Okay, that bar members want this stuff they want you to believe places limitations on everything except them. Don't place no limitations on them. It gives them an open field to screw with you and do their predatory conduct. To send someone from their law firm with a document saying you got 5 days to vacate. And down at the bottom of that number, if anybody took the time to look down there, my friend Julie saw that little stuff. I didn't see it. She saw it stuff at the bottom of the number down there. And it said, It was the law firm's logo. It was a law firm's logo. So the law firm that was hired to do the unlawful detainer, to evict your ass, is paying someone to pretend they're a process server and come to your house and stick shit in your face. Okay, so this is not my first rodeo. It's the first time I heard about any of this. Okay, but this is not my first rodeo, and I'm not young. Okay, so I'm not gonna act like I'm really surprised and I have no idea. Oh hell yeah. Okay, well I am surprised, but I do have an idea because I went through their BS and I know how they roll. Oh, so the law firm that's doing the foreclosure is connected to the state. Well, the fact that I have connected them to the state is that they say they're licensed by the state. But no, yeah, well, swear versus Board of Examiners, okay, no state can license the practice of law. So nobody, no. But Pro Se Legal School, Pro Se Lawsuit Center Staff School, I know, I got to work on that. We got a license, we got a bar card on our website, $79. All right, y'all should go check it out. Okay, so let's just, okay, so I got so much to say. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know. Y'all see I'm still here at this. Well, it's a disclosed location because it had nothing to do with the military, but it might have to be disclosed or undisclosed, disclosed, undisclosed when we get done, I don't know, burning some people. I don't know. Okay, so the people that's involved in the situation that's going on in this beautiful place that I've been working at for the last few, yes. I think they call it Sedona, Arizona. Yeah, they shouldn't have to put up with the stuff that they're putting up with right now from the corporations that are trying to run them out, so that they could build a resort. Yeah, that's what's going on, in my opinion. This is my opinion, based off of my own whatever, and my friends' families, stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of stuff. And you know, a lot of the stuff, okay, so I tell people, you know what, you can't connect that stuff. I don't want to hear it. You know, people told me, oh, I did this, I did everything that, you know. Now I take my hat off to you people, because I'm finding out now, and like I said, I know that there's a lot of other, there's a lot of other shit going on underneath the table, just blocking people from getting their stuff on the record. Oh, that's why we're here. Now I don't get too loud because I'm still here. It's not that late, like 11 o'clock, so I can get loud for it. Okay, so my friend Julie, her family, their property, they had a property in 4 different courts. In the last video, I said 3. At the end of the video, I realized it was actually 4. Okay, so anyhow, 4 different courts. And all of the people in all the courts, the judge is getting paid by the same corporation that's trying to do stuff. Okay, so this video, this live stream, is not about about my friend Julie and her family or whatever. Okay, this is about me. Okay. They told me that I couldn't file, or that my customer that was standing next to me could not file a supplemental pleading. And okay, so and I was gonna give you the cool shit first before we get to the boring shit. The cool shit is later on. My friend Julie told me, okay, so that was cool. That's the first time that they ever made the Dragon Lady come out the back room and face her. Okay, I did my business before and I stepped back, and then she was doing her business. And then they started giving her shit. So I was trying to step back, but okay, so a supplemental pleading, if you go to the Federal Rules Civil Procedure and you look at filing an amendment, okay, you file an amendment. Oh, that's connected to the statutes. Go read that shit. Oh, you filed an amendment. You have to ask the judge, oh, no, I'm not asking the judge for shit. Okay, I'm asking the judge for, I don't know, his assets or her assets. I'm just saying. Okay, if you scroll down in the Federal Rules Civil Procedure, past filing an amendment, right above that little tiny ass number, you'll see supplemental pleading and the very few rules that are that you did. But you know what? Since this is a school, I need to make y'all ask, oh, you know what? But for the day, okay, it pissed me off again. So I ain't gonna share. Okay, to file supplemental pleading is how we get around making adjustments to the lawsuit or whatever pleading you file without asking them for a damn thing. Go check it out. The rules for filing supplemental pleading are: you have to add a party or account or both. Oh, damn! I got my I gotta make that sorry. Okay, and have to be connected to the original reason why you're there in the first place. Bam. But they told me, oh, well, let's go over this too. So when they try to control your pleading that you're filing, they're going, oh, but the rules. What rules? The rules say, wait, what are we talking about? And this is what I asked Heather, and just catch our ass out in case you go to sleep. She told me this shit yesterday. She made me write a minute complaint, and when she made me do that, I initialed it right there. And she is, well, she's like a higher than notary republic, so I don't need to have that initialization notarized. Hint, hint, hint. Y'all get that shit? Okay, you gotta make changes. Make the changes right there in their face, what they say you need to have. Okay? Because if you look up the rules, the statute that they use for filing stuff is very liberal. They don't have none of this shit. They're coming at your ass with the local rules that are total bull BS. They're not connected to the Constitution and federal civil rules, but nothing else. So, so she made me take the judge's name off over here. She told me I can't file with the judge's name because it said Christine Hopper. Dude, it says ETAL. There's supposed to be a apostrophe in between the two. I was getting pissed off. Okay. And I wrote the shit in. That means everybody. But the last thing that I want her to see is me sweat. They teach you that shit. You never want to let them see you sweat. I look there and smile. Okay, so the defendant word right here was above and it wasn't down below. Okay, come on. You know what? I just crossed it out and wrote ETL. That included every damn body. Oh, and I looked over at my friend. She was like, oh. And then she had some other problems. Okay, I can't file a supplemental pleading with expanded allegations against defendant Leonard Wallace because she's a judge there. Oh, the clerk's number one job is to protect the court's money. My number one job is help people learn how to stop the court process. Okay, so she told me that I can't file this supplemental plea. Now, I already told y'all what the rules are for a supplemental plea. She started talking to me about the rules. And I said, well, she mentioned them. That's why I can't do that. And I said, are we referencing the federal rules of civil procedure or the local rules? And my friend said he was sitting there watching this whole thing and had been taking shit from these people for since 2009. She said later, when you said that to her, she's like, ah. And my friend Julie said it because she didn't know. She did not know the rule that she was talking about. And I said, well, yeah, you're 100% right. But had she known, it wouldn't have made any damn difference. Because okay, so they're used to telling you that you can't take that, you can't file that or whatever. I'm like, okay, what's the problem? It had to say amend the complaint. Okay, I took it. And I wrote amended damn complaint right on it. Right there. And then I initialed it. Now, she's officer of the court higher than a notary, so I don't need a notary to know that I initialed that right there because she's forcing me under duress to violate my own constitutional rights. Oh, wait. No. The clerk has more power than the judge, theoretically speaking, when it comes to the money, but not when it comes to judicial function. Oh, wait, we're not in a judicial function, we're an administrative function where they can throw you under the bus, lie to your face. That's my opinion based off of the real-time feedback from the people like Julie that have been in the program and have been fighting. So that's my opinion. They gonna lie to your face. Okay, so I'm on a lost script, but I need to make this connect. Okay. This young lady lives, well, y'all see the place where she lives. You've been watching the video. In a really nice place. Oh, wait. They started harassing her before we, with some allegedly criminal shit. Well, criminal statutes don't valid laws. Criminal statutes are non-valid laws. They don't have an acting constitutional bodies. Okay. But that's before I got into the picture. Okay, with that, they beat her down and forced her. Took her license and stuff so she can no longer be a real estate appraiser. That start of the beat down started in 2010 for her. In my opinion, it started when she signed the mortgage. Because they processed that shit through the whatever. They never was alone. In my opinion, TikTok, when I posted on TikTok. Okay. Back to this. Okay, because this is about me. They're going to tell me while I'm standing there with my customer that you can't fight that. But you know what? This is not the way they treated me in the Superior Court in Prescott. This is the way he treated me in Yavapai County Court. And I think Yavapai County Court is probably 45 minutes or half an hour. Because I've been out driving all over, you know. They had her ass and all they did, Yavapai County Court. Okay, so, wait a minute. The legal team suggested that it should be filed in Prescott Superior Court, not Yavapai County Court. So we filed it in Prescott Superior Court, or I did. I drove down there and filed it myself because that's 2 hours. Okay, people who are working and doing shit, they don't have 2 hours, an hour. Actually, it was like an hour and a freaking half one way. I have a little problem with the math. Not whatever. Yeah, I'm doing my yoga stretches while we're talking. Because I drove all day. I'm not in pain. Anyway. Okay, so when I drove down to Prescott and I filed the stuff in the court where, I'm not going to say the biggest court because people play on words and they get shit twisted or whatever. Yeah, when I drove to Prescott and I filed the stuff in the court where I thought at the time there the most people and was the biggest court, they took it. And they made a comment to me when I was thinking, oh, we're probably going to send it over to Camp Verde. Camp Verde. My friend Julie talks about that. Them people over there are assholes. Why wouldn't you know? Oh, so that's what they did. Okay, but what we're doing here, okay, and I'm going to be giving myself a review when it's all over, okay, is revolutionary. Okay, so we'll just, I don't know anything about Camp Verde. We'll just roll on over to Camp Verde and see what they got to say. I came home and told Julie that they were, oh no, that's Judge Wallace. That was just, oh, okay, so I said, well, that's fine. They need to see our face. Okay, that's the big thing here. Instead of just mailing this shit, doing that, I want to make sure they see my face. They need to see our face. So she went yesterday, and yeah. Okay, so when they start screwing with you and tell you can't file your shit, you got one option is the last option, and I'm going to tell you about it now. Once you give them the shit, don't take it back. Do not take it back. Once you give them that shit, now, okay, keep in mind, if you don't have your case going or whatever, okay, then you're kind of at their mercy. I'm talking about down there. Once you give them that shit, and they come back and tell you, oh, we can't accept it or whatever, I wouldn't take it back. I would tell my legal team told me that I'm on camera giving you that stuff, and you guys are using the local rules that you came up with on your own, to obstruct justice and violate everybody's due process. Okay, amended complaint. Oh, they was not happy about Linda Wallace. Oh. Heather Chloe said Linda Wallace was appointed. It sounds like she knows. Okay. Okay, so I don't like drama. Okay, when you're a big ass black man, okay, drama never works out well for you. Okay, I know that you can hand write shit in anytime, just like that. Okay, and when they started screwing me, now in this case, I didn't, I didn't really need to, okay, because I'd rather go back. Okay, but I've had people, and I've done it myself. Excuse me, you're saying that your supervisor, because they don't bring a supervisor out unless you bring the fire, and Heather mentioned that supervisor never comes out of the back room. Okay, so when you bring the fire, the supervisor comes out. But if you jam the supervisor up, what rules are we following the civil rules, the federal rules of civil procedure? Because all the state shit is supposed to be the same as the federal. And all of the states are supposed to have everything the same. My friend that started me on this shit, told me that we have a constitutional right that all of the state stuff is supposed to be the same. So we're gonna have to look up each one. Okay, so the amended complaint, they made me put that this something I'm pleading was an amended complaint, and while I was writing it on there, Clerk Heather informed me, oh, yes, when you file an amended complaint, the judge is going to have to rule on it. Oh, my friend was probably impressed. And then I kept my mouth shut. Okay, but this is what we took today. Well, this is what I took down there today, and then I had a little mistake right here. Heather, that should be a 20 before the one. Okay, but this was filed at the Superior Court in Prescott. Okay, they didn't give me a hard time. I didn't have to write a bunch of crap on it. Now, this we filed to change the venue. Okay, if you guys watched the video that I put together, the little write-up about this before we talk. Okay, so in order for them to move your case over to a different court, it has to be the same process that go down to give you due process. They have to have a motion. You have to have opportunity to respond to it. There has to be an order from a judicial judge, not administrative. Bam! That just jacked up everything. Okay. Forget about the judicial. Okay, because there's like 9 things that didn't happen. So we're demanding. We're demanding that to move her case back to the court that we filed it in. In order for them to move out of the court that they filed it in, they got to go through the process. They're supposed to, according to their stuff. But they don't. Now, I did that last. I did a whole bunch of other stuff before I got to that. Because that involves that court that I was at. Okay? That involved the court that I was at. Because when the clerk does not have judicial authority to move your case to a different place. Now, why would they want to do that? Okay, as a coach, the why, the what, the why, and the how. Now, I didn't know which one comes first because it gets a little creepy when you get breaking it down like that. Okay, but the why. Why are they able to do this? Well, would you believe me? Carrie Faulkner, Judicial Assistant Case Flow. Date, July 23rd. So that was 2 days ago. Okay, what is this? This is an order. Okay. This is an order well, we filed this, but they filed the order yesterday, and we filed this today. So this is the order to move Julie's case over to Maricopa County. Now, I grew up in Arizona. I don't know exactly how far Maricopa County is, because if you want to know exactly, you're talking from the edge of whatever Yavapai County, whether this county, to the beginning of that county, and then you still got to get to town or whatever. Okay? Don't matter. They're not allowed to move your case like this without all of the process, that without them filing a motion, without you having an opportunity to object to it and why, and without them going to the court. And then the judge, and I'm about to get worked out. The judge is supposed to provide a fact of findings and a conclusions of law before there's any ruling to make you do shit. Right here. Carrie Faulkner, Judicial Assistant Case Flow. Okay. I know that there's like the judge, and then like the second down from the judge is like the deputy assistant, the assistant to the judge's assistant, assistant to the assistant. And then I don't know how far down the judicial assistant and case flow goes as far as authority. Oh, wait. The judge don't have no authority because they have your ass in administrative court. But so this is assistant for case flow. Okay. So when I told them that we were filing the demand to transfer the case back over to where we found it, and in here we addressed the case law and all the shit that shows that they can't just move the shit. Then when I told them about that, then the young lady, now keep in mind that the people that helped me over there did not have the same attitude as these freaking people had over at Camp Verde that was acting stupid. And making me do this shit. Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah. They didn't have the same attitude. But I think they was trying to make sure that they covered. At the end, I told the young lady, Adriana, I think that's her name. I have to look up everything. And she was very young. So and she had to get a supervisor several times, and I had this whole process took a little while. Okay, but I told Adriana, she was the clerk, to make sure that we're clear on this. She was a clerk at the Superior Court in Prescott. I told her when I left that she or the people in her office should be training those people over there. Okay, and they don't know. I filed. I filed. I filed my own lawsuit against her, against them today for that and violation of Administrative Procedures Act 1946 in declaration. Well, for professional defamation. Okay, because my customer's standing there listening to her telling me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I got it pretty out paperwork and shit. Hell. And she's gonna make me do this. Okay, so here's the thing. Check down is to get your shit filed. I don't care what you gotta do. You should never leave with I would write your mama, whatever the hell they told me to write on here in ink and enlarge that shit and initial it over there. Initial it. And you can date it if you want to really screw with them. I was mad, so I just initial it. Check down is to make sure you get your shit on the record. And to challenge them, obviously. Check down and get shit. They told me to write on that, you're an asshole, Mr. Neighbors. I would write that shit right on there. I'm an asshole, Mr. Neighbors, and initial it. Thank you. Can you file my stuff for me, please? And make sure I get a file stamp copy over here. Because I'll be back the next freaking day. Okay, but I decided not to go back. Well, okay. I'm going to be honest. On my way back from Prescott, I drove right by the turnoff to Camp Verde again. And yeah, it was... but it was 5:15, so they were closed. All right, probably be in jail tonight, okay? Because I'm talking shit. Okay, that lady going to come telling me that I can't file. No, you can't file. Wait, I didn't even ask her if she knew what something in the pleading was. I asked, are we talking the local rules or the federal rules of procedure? I don't have to talk rules with you. Okay. Let me just write on here whatever you need so that you can get this on the record so I can have a file stamp. So my customer can have a file stamp copy. Oh, wait. I usually the suitor ask myself. Now she can come in and bring the take defamation, the professional defamation off there, and she can bring the same lawsuit again if she wants to. Oh wait, she wouldn't have to pay to file it because we would do a supplemental pleading. Because when I get done kicking their ass for this stupid ass shit, anybody that goes in there and do supplemental pleading, I'm pretty sure, hell, maybe I'll make that in mind in what I'm demanding. To make sure that anybody brings supplemental pleading in there, these people don't act stupid and do. So they don't know what the hell they're going to do. Oh, wait. They're trying to transfer it over to Maricopa County, which is, I don't know how far. Yeah, Heather. So that's what we're working on right now. I think they're probably in meetings tonight as we speak. Well, I don't think there is any justice. So that's why we like to learn how to punch the ass in the face until they go sit down and leave you the hell alone. So we got all the parties. Well, most of the parties served yesterday, and we got subpoenas to serve the rest of the parties that didn't get served yesterday. Probably Monday. It was a long day. We'll get that stuff set up on Monday. And in order to move the case over to Maricopa County, and it's funny, it's signed by a judicial assistant / case flow. Case flow. Does that mean case flow, throw your shit out the door? Case flow, dismissed flow? I'm trying to visualize in my head what the hell case flow means. Oh, okay, sorry. Case flow. And I pointed that out to the people. I pointed that out to the people while I was there. Oh. She says, oh, well, this moving the case back over, well, there was an order. The supervisor said, oh, dude, there was an order? She's like, yeah. So you haven't gotten a copy of it yet? No, ma'am. I haven't seen any orders in the case yet. She said, oh, let me check. She comes back. Oh, it was just ordered yesterday. Oh, I think I filed this shit yesterday. Oh, I didn't know. I'm in different time zone, so I think I filed it yesterday. Or maybe the day, I don't know. And so there's an order already. There's an order sending it over to, as I said, it's over 2 hours away. Oh, Lord. I drove an hour and a half to get to this court, and the other court I drove less. Okay, so while I'm thinking about this, one of the most important things to understand about all those words that we're sharing tonight is that it appears that if you file your stuff in the main court, the higher court, the biggest court, or whatever, and if you live in that court's area, you might want to think about filing in the little court way the hell over there. Okay, just work with me here. Okay, because this is the real-time feedback and the way my brain works and all that. Okay, if you file the shit in the court in the area where they steal everybody's property, then all those players all working together and screwed. I mean, well, you're not screwed if you have learned, but it's a lot harder. We ain't trying to have to work that hard. So the real-time feedback's teaching us. You file the shit in the main court, the biggest court, where they don't have time to deal with your shit. They're going to automatically send it out. Oh, wait, no, they can't do that. They can't do that. No, Heather. Nope. Orders only come from, okay, hang on a second. Okay. This is a situation where you and I both are right. Because you are. Judicial assistants can make orders in their administrative situation bullshit. In the judicial situation bullshit, they can't. So that's where I'm at. So we're both right in this situation. We're both right in the situation that we had earlier today, yeah. Because the document was from yesterday, even though I didn't know, but we're both right. But judicial assistants can't make orders. Only administrative assistants and they're administrative assistants. So you're right, but the words they stick in whatever. The only no assistant. Okay, so a magistrate judge, okay, has no authority to make any decisions in a case without the signed consent from everybody. 436. I think that's the thing you can look it up. Just go magistrate judge. They'll tell you they don't have judicial authority to make any decisions in any case because they're a lesser judge. If they do, they violate. And we have a lawsuit. We put that in a lawsuit, whatever. So a judicial assistant doesn't, but in an administrative setting, the judicial assistants run the show, like the clerk. The clerk would be considered, in my opinion, a judicial assistant, and they run the show, or a judicial assistant of case flow. I never heard of that. A judicial assistant of case flow. Case flow down the toilet. Oh, they're not going to have anything that's going to help you. Okay, I didn't think so. Yeah, I've been around for a long time. They okay, so I told the people, okay, that we're not having the case transferred to Maricopa County. That's over. We're not doing that. We want the shit right there where they don't want to take care of it. And I don't have it because they're honest. And she looked at me. Okay, let me take half of that back. Okay, here's the situation that I see in my head. And this is from being a coach. Okay, the situation is these people over here don't want to take the responsibility, the liability for what they're doing over here. Why? Why would they not? Okay, dude, the documents from the big Superior Court and the Yavapai County bullshit were totally different. They didn't even look the same. Why? Well, the people over here at the Yavapai County Court all work together. The judges paid by the county prosecutor, the county attorney, the sheriff's paid by the county. Everybody's paid by the county except your happy housewives don't take shit. And they pay these people, sub corporations, to run around and harass you and do all the shit that it calls all about business. Oh! That's why what we found out, and this is one of the things that I said that we're going to discuss tonight, is stopping the foreclosure eviction process. Okay, they jacked with Julie, Rash and her family long before it was just her. Okay, they run the complete corporate crap to run her out of money. That's what they're doing. And they're running, and then they want to take stuff. Okay, so what we found is that, well, we got a whole bunch of people to add. We added all of them people. We had to add them people to get control of the situation. I'm gonna name them off. I never had a lawsuit where I had all these people. Y'all guys know how I roll, whatever. Yeah, but from the real-time feedback that and a lot of this that I'm calling feedback was research that Julie and Heather and their family had done. And okay, so what we found out that, and I think I haven't had a chance to apply this to everything. So I'm going to throw it out there. Now, remember, when you roll over here, we roll without limitations. Oh, do you have a case law? I don't have to have shit. I mean, I know what I know with my shit, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm not the one that got to prove a damn thing. Okay? The person bringing the facts to the table don't have to prove shit. And the federal law civil procedure, they dictate you don't have to answer to a damn thing that they stick in your face if you have defenses. Well, we don't have defense here. We got offense. I only call it defense because I can't market it as foreclosure offense because no one's searching that. Because nobody used to do anything or whatever now to kick these people's ass. All right. Okay, so stopping the court process 101, 109, 149. I didn't know. I think I just need to name video of that. Because that's what we're down to. Stopping the court process 101. Okay. Stopping the eviction process after they sell your shit. That's what we're doing right here. Right now. With this. And I'm getting to do the shit kind of. I mean, I'm getting to make the call or whatever. So I get to give my own self review when we get done with this. And so, okay, the number one person that we got on the hook right now is the county attorney. The county attorney is usually the one's run or whatever. In this case, it's the county attorney. If it's in town, it might be somebody different. Remember, we're in a row of limitations. Y'all need to get your butt on the Google or whatever and figure it out. And so the county attorney in this case is Dennis McCrane out of Sedona. Well, he's out of Prescott. And we served him at his house. All 6 or 7 of these city employee services going to his house, including their service for his wife, Karen McCrane. Now, we added her because we're including the county attorney's assets and property in as damages in a lawsuit that we both filed, that she filed in herself. Okay, so when you do that, you look at the property, you see who all the signers are. Oh yeah, I forgot. We gotta serve. I'll do that when I go. We gotta serve Karen individually. All right, yeah, we got to set up so she's getting service. Okay, then Yavapai County, because the county, whatever. And then the Yavapai County Board of Supervisors. Now, keep in mind, we're limiting ourselves. So there's Board of Supervisors, there's Board of Trustees, there's boards of stuff. So you need to figure out how to. Okay, then we included Jesse Porter in his or her, because then I know that's a male, female, official and personal capacity, and that person was county treasurer. So we added the county attorney's wife, the county board of supervisors. Oh my God, it was a whole. Oh, but you know what? Yeah, and then we added the county recorder. We stopped thinking about it. Supervisor telling people to do all this shit. The county recorder, the Yavapai County is their corporation. Excuse me. The head sub corporation from the state that's attacking your property, and they have your property held up in their office from real estate defraud. They committed real estate defraud to get your property registered because there's no law that says your property has to be registered. And they lie to you, and once the property is registered, it allows them to put the first lien on your property, which, I tell people is the mortgage lien, because I think about it this way: there are some people on property, everybody has to be present to sign the lien. And the fact that they accept your signature proves that you own the ranch well thing. Okay, and so the county treasurer knows that money didn't come from anything that they did to earn it. I'm just going off the top of my head, okay? And then the county recorder records your stuff and the transfer statute for all those states. Now, statutes and codes, nonviolent laws, we don't have to follow that shit, but they're there for them to follow to make it fair for us so our due process is not being violated. No, they ain't following. So the county recorder records that shit a whole bunch of different times so they can start property tax and all of that. Okay, and then I call it the county clerk since the county clerk supervisor what happened there. Because we're already in the county or whatever. Remember, you don't have to have everything perfect because when there's something in the plea, you can change everything. At the end of the day, ain't nobody want to have none of this facts in anybody's face. And ain't no judge about to sign on this stuff. And the state players cannot respond to anything that we file. Bam! Because we use federal case law and federal acts. They can't respond to that shit with statutes and codes. They can't. They can't. And they don't have a federal bar card. So even if they got the case moved to federal court, they still can't respond because they don't have a federal bar card. And I can tell you, ain't no attorney from the federal level finna get. They can look at what we got on the table and they know that it's going to cost them way more time. Okay, so the sheriff department. We got the sheriff department after the clerk. The clerk knows that shit shouldn't be filed. The clerk is the one sent, the judicial assistant. I'm assuming maybe that's the clerk. I don't know. Yeah, but the clerk is. Oh, you got to see where I'm headed with this. Oh. Yeah, Heather, we might have to add. We might have to add to my lawsuit to get the shredder shut. To get the shredder shut down. Okay, so they made these changes. They made me make these changes to my lawsuit, and basically, what they did was they provided us with the evidence that we need to prove that they're forcing everybody to. No, when that clerk Heather, when she saw when she backed up a little, but not enough. So this is okay. So if we're doing shit the way we do shit, there ain't no reason to sweat. Because we already know they're on bullshit and everything they're doing is, we just need to communicate so that we know what they're doing. Because everything they do, we get the answer to, unless we don't know they're doing it or whatever. But Heather made a comment to me one day. She said, I love what you're doing. What do you mean? She says, well, you're putting, how did she put it? You're putting them all against each other. Oh. Bam. Forcing them to visualize their shared liability. And you only need one person. You only need one person to check out. And if you get this shit at the gate, like we teach you how to do, well, you'll have way more than one person doing the checking out. And the fun part, and this is the fun part is when those people start chewing each other's legs off. When the roaches start chewing each other's legs off. Yeah, that's the fun part. Start riding each other out, running around, blaming everything on every. That's one of the guarantees that I tell people in my program. I'm going to guarantee because some people call me, ask me, you can talk to the attorney, okay, and they're going to guarantee it's going to be a lie. That's my opinion. My guarantee is that you're going to learn how to have fun. Yep. You're going to learn how to have fun. And I haven't talked to anybody that's got in the program and watched out the instructional videos on the YouTube channel. And went over to the coaching page at neighbors_coach. If they have questions or whatever after watching. And and the cool thing about it, if you invest in the premium packages, then you get one-on-one coaching. But if you invest in the premium packages, are the ones that cost the most for some of you people who didn't figure that out. Premium packages are usually used by coaches and by property owners who are training people in their organization to handle their, since we use federal case law, we don't screw around in state court. You can use my stuff in any state, and you can train people to learn how to take care of the situation. And the 42 U.S.C. 1983 lawsuit package is still on sale for $300. It's on sale for the rest of this month for $300. So if you guys, I'm gonna show it to you here. I'm gonna do a screen share, see if we can work this out. Bam, right there. 42 U.S.C. 1983 for a closing defense lawsuit package. And my girl Humira has done a great job at getting the new lawsuit, getting the new website up and running. We got a bunch of, okay, sorry. So this lawsuit package, remember I told you, if you have defenses, you don't have to answer to nothing that day. We have offenses. We don't like I call it, whatever, but in this lawsuit package, okay, we go in this package, we address the reason why they're able to go after you and screw you over. Not so much what you did. I mean, you can see the word foreclosure mentioned there. Okay, but if you don't go after first the reason why they were able to come after you, and the reason why, because they violated your due process. And we add a statement of constitutional emergency, which elevates the claim, forces them to move to the higher court, and the higher court strips away the administrative crap that you've been dealing with and can only rule on a constitutional emergency. We added this we came up with this when we built the foreclosure and mandamus package that is structured to get you back in your property regardless how long ago it was, because we come to table with fraudulent concealment, which is a federal, it's a federal doctrine and total statute of limitations. Okay, so the statement of constitutional emergency jams up the whole program, and we have this document in our we have this doc we have this in the document in our premium packages, but our legal team decided to put that in all of the packages. Ow! Because it's one of the good ways of getting it shut down. So we just put in a statement of constitutional emergency. Now, if for you guys that are doing this on your own, you can add that yourself into your stuff and elevate your own shit, even if it's crappy. I'm just, I'm just saying. Oh, the statement of constitutional emergency is very powerful, and we got two people that invested in $5,000 writ mandamus foreclosure and defense package that are waiting. That are well, Marquita hasn't backed up, and she's defaulted them, and so and then we have another player that's just started about 3 4 weeks ago. So emergency demand to stay the eviction sale. Oh, a notice of fraudulent concealment, which tolls the statute of limitations, and yeah, 101 in Twitter. Now, the Twitter coaching page, we have it set up to where all of the stuff that comes in, that the things that we need to change, we post it. Then, if it's something that you're going through and it's kind of touchy, and there's a possibility that you might have to make me run, or I might have to make you run. There's a possibility one of us might have to run because, you know, I'm very passionate, and I'm sure if you're not passionate about saving your house, then you're in the wrong program. So there's this and what we kind of okay. So we have it set up on the coaching where if it's personal, then we do the communication in private in the messenger part of Twitter until we get it figured out. Who needs to run? Who needs to say I'm sorry? Yeah. And then we figure out what correction that we need to make. So other people, and then that is posted in the group. You know, this is what happened. This is what they did. This is what we're doing to correct that so they can't do that shit no more. And I don't mention anybody. I mention your name if you're kicking ass, but if you screw up, I ain't trying to, you know. And with that being said, one of my coaches tell me, you know, if you don't screw up something, you ain't doing nothing. However, and this is what the package looks like. Now, the difference between the packages, the next package up is, so this is, I think this is the next package up. Yeah. So this is the next package up. This package addresses the 42 USC 1983 issue of them violating the due process. But this package also addresses the real estate deed fraud. The real estate deed fraud. This package addresses the real estate deed fraud and so most people don't realize the statutes and codes are non-violent laws. So the statute that they use and judicial, non-judicial, whatever is, well, you guys understand where I'm going with that. Now, this is the package that most people use if you have property. If you're doing, if you're training people to take care. If you have, if you want the very best there is for this situation, and this is my opinion. If you want the very best there is, this package has everything that we have. except the mandamus stuff to force the judge to rule. That was only in the mandamus package. But, you know, the difference between that package is that package is structured for people to get back in their homes after the foreclosure, regardless how long it was or how long ago it was. That's what that package was structured for. And then we got, I have a bunch of video reviews. I just haven't had time to post them on the thing because my kids taught me to have priorities. And okay, so we're going to go back to the homepage since I have anybody's attention, and my partner, my human has done such a great job of putting all of this stuff together for us. Oh, she did a great job. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen the homepage. Okay. She did a really nice job. Thank you, Humira. You did a wonderful job. She asked me a couple of days ago if I seen the new page layout, and I said no, I haven't seen it yet because I've been a little busy trying to keep up with these shell corporations that they keep switching to, trying to. Okay, so what I've been putting together for Julie, for Heather, and Julie and her family is the RICO lawsuit package, and I mentioned that I was going to use it as I was going to call it a mandamus, but you know what? I think I swear that's the wrong hand. Sorry. That's the wrong finger. I think I'm going to put that RICO package together for the first 20 people, and I'm going to make it I'm going instead of making a mandamus for 5K, I'm going to make it a premium package. So it's going to be in the $1,500 range. Okay, but for the first 5 people that are interested in it, I'm going to let them have it for like $1K, for $1,000, as long as you leave me 2 review videos. One at the beginning, after you read the document and you see the power that you bring to the table. And then I like another video about how they reacted when you shoved the shit in their face. I mean, okay, whatever. I'm a little passionate about my job, and I love what I do. I'm a little passionate about what I do, and I love my job. Okay, so if you're interested, I don't even have it on the website yet because I'm on this remote, and I'm actually going to leave next Monday to head back to where I need to be, and so I don't have time to post it. But if you're interested in it, make sure you leave me an email and let me know you're interested in the RICO package for the steel price of $5 million. Oh, 5,000. No, I said okay. Whatever I said I was going, you just put in there what you don't screw with me now. Keep it. All right. Email me and let me know you're interested. And what I'll do is I'll send you the package along with the link. I'll send you a link to make your payment, and then I'll send you the package because it's not on the website yet. But after next week, it'll be on the website, and it's probably going to be more. Okay, so what I'm selling the sizzle, not the steak. So Oh, that came out. I like this new website thing. Except my camera's right in the middle of it, so I'm gonna have to get rid of you guys so I can look at the rest. Okay, let's stop sharing. Maybe. Okay, we're back. Um, it's like, me. It's like, yeah, me the only ones. And this is obvious because I put this out that we're doing this like 2 hours ago. So it's pretty obvious that YouTube is jacking me up and not. Yeah, Linda Wallace. We talking about that Linda Wallace? Yeah, that's probably the one. Yeah. So, one of the things that we did different too with this was that, we started finding it nice. Well, kind of nice. And then they started showing up at his door and with their fake ass, you gotta vacate the property, in 5 days without even going through turn off the Cange or whatever. So yeah, when they started doing that, we stepped up and we made the federal RICO lawsuit. We haven't filed it yet because we're just gonna have to beat their ass down over here first. But what we did was we put together the federal shit. We named it. We printed all that shit out, and we took that shit to their house. Excuse me. We took that shit to their house. See how they like that. In the office. And Christina Harper, I didn't want her to go with me when I went down there. Okay, people didn't tell this, so they wasn't worry about me. But now I called them several times and I emailed them a couple times talking some shit. And when I got there, they didn't want to open the door. Let me. No, I wasn't talking crazy shit. I was talking accurate, factual shit. But that might be crazy to them. They didn't want to open the door. Let me in. On the 6th floor of this big ass pretty building, and I got to ring the freaking doorbell. I told him I was coming. That's how I like to roll. I tell them I'm coming, when I'm coming, and I'll call and let them know I'm there if they think they can stop us. Okay, because I'd rather them throw that shit on the table right now instead of this bullshit sneaking around, whatever. This is what I got. I'm coming. What you got? Oh, they won't open the door for me. And they had a Ring camera on the door on the 6th floor. Who the hell else, I'm right in front of that motherfucker. Okay, so I was not leaving without leaving that shit. So that's the check down. Okay, if you have obstacles, you got to do the check down. But they're saying they ain't taking my shit. What's the check down? Because I ain't taking the shit on them. All right, whatever. I'll see them later. In this case, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it. Oh, check down. I'm going to slide the shit under the door if I have to put it in 2 different piles. And I had a manila envelope. I slid it down. Damn, slides right under the door. I slid it halfway under. I grabbed my phone. I was going to take a picture of it. And somebody grabbed it and pulled it under the door. Oh! I wonder if that was Christine Harper's ass. Why they ain't talk to me? They might have thought I was YouTubing or something. I don't know. Okay, no, I didn't think about all that shit. I did think, damn, they took that shit. And then both the people on my show said, dude, you need to get the fuck out of here. Let's go. The bomb done been dropped It's time to get the hell out of here. Yeah, for people call the police. So then we headed over to, the eviction attorney's office, and his address was on the sign. It was Evan something. I can't remember what his, it was a weird for name anyway. Okay, but his name wasn't on the sign or on the front of the office building. And by the time I got there, they were closed. So I went around the back, and it looked like there was a whole bunch of attorneys' boxes of files stacked outside. I was like, I wonder if the owner, the people in those files knew that shit was stacked outside. But anyway, so I left the stuff outside there under the mat when we get wet. Evan, I can't think of it. And then I had on Mr. Spencer Caldwell's house. He's the investor that is working with the eviction attorney, Evan something, to and his house didn't have house numbers. It needed a house next to it. So I drive. So I played football. I drive around the block a few times. 2533 Minston Street in Mesa, Arizona. Now I got the zip code right here if you want to. I drove around the block a few times. Okay. By the time I was figuring it out, I was stopped 2 houses up. And here he comes rolling up on my ass in his big old fancy pretty truck that I think maybe I'll see if Heather will sue him for. So I like to have this pretty truck. And he rolled up and slowed down, looked at me. I was cool as fuck. I had my phone up looking. And then I went by his house and went around the block. And that's when I figured out. So he didn't have a house number on the house, and neither did the neighbor to the left of him, which started around the corner. And then the third house was already on the corner, had a number on it. So I went back and I was like, I'm not leaving. Okay, there ain't no way in hell that I put all this shit together. And then I'm not going to drop it off. But I ain't trying to go to jail either, because by now it's like 5:30, 5:45, I'm getting hungry. So I drove by again, and Mr. Spencer was leaning on his truck, kind of waiting for me. It looked like whatever. So I just kept on driving. I drove around the third time. So I stopped down the street. I thought I'll just stop here for a couple of minutes. And then this lady came outside to walk her dog. And nobody walks your dog in in Mesa, excuse me. Yeah, in Mesa, Arizona, when it's 200 degrees outside. And she only walked one house out and then went back. So I figured I should probably go ahead and do it. I have my police hat in case I need it. So I went on back over to Mr. Spencer's house, and he had went inside. But I know he probably watched it on the doorbell camera, because, Christine Harper got a doorbell camera on the 6th floor. Up there, he probably had one too. And I wasn't trying to have drama when I'm hungry, because the last thing you want to do is go to jail starving, okay? Okay, so then I decided, you know what? The third house over had a number. I just leave the shit over there. Then we open that folder and see that they had this suing their ass for RICO and all this shit, and how they're working with this crazy woman over here running the mill, stealing people's stuff. And I wonder if that neighbor bought the house from Spencer. Oh. And he's a rip. Oh, okay. So I just left it. I figured the neighbor, whether the neighbor liked him or not, okay, because human nature is human nature, okay? The neighbor is going to have more fun delivering that shit than me. to him. Did I say that? Only because I was starving, I need to get. Okay. So the moral of the story is if you don't attack the people screwing you over, you might as well go sit your ass down. And that's you can do a supplemental pleading and you don't have to pay to file it. If they jam you up and drag you in court, you can do a counterclaim and add and then add the statement of constitutional emergency to it, to the counterclaim. Oh wait, when you do the counterclaim, you need to make sure you add their asses as plaintiffs to their own shit. Bam! I'm talking about the state, the judge, add them all to the counterclaim as plaintiffs. And then now, your counterclaim for $200 million, or like in Marquette case, she went with $800 million. Like, what the hell? I need to learn how to count higher so I can tell my next shit can be higher than hers. So I can't have people suing them for more than what I'm asking for. I'm asking for $200 million. Oh, I know. I'm working on that. $200 million. Add them to your counterclaim as plaintiffs. And using federal case law in the state, then they can't respond to it. You add them to the counterclaim as plaintiffs, now they're a party to the case. They're a party to the case, they can't represent each other, they can't represent. Oh, bam! Did they ever tell you that? I don't think they told you that. Open your eyes, always, always. Okay, my God, I can't remember my size. Thank you. Open your eyes. It's not called programs. It's called indoctrinated. In my opinion, would be the correct word. But you're right on. And thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the knowledge. Because knowledge is power. If you have courage to do whatever it takes. Because you have all the power. But if you're afraid to light the freaking thing to burn some people, then they're going to know. If you went in there with fear, then they're going to know. If you have fear, they're going to think you ain't trying to burn it. You know, one of my friends told me, you have to fake it till you make it. And hopefully you make it before you break. Oh, okay, sorry. Well, we're starting to learn with the power of teamwork and obviously the internet. We're starting to learn what we need to do to protect ourselves and to make it harder for them to throw us under the bus. So we got people now that are getting back in their houses after the foreclosure situation. We have people like Heather who invested in the program and she how can you put this? She had a situation in her family where she had to take care of family members and do these things. And generally the court's supposed to, they ask for a continued whatever. Not when they want to take your property, not when the resort across the street wants to steal your property. And the resort across the street, and you guys can look up some of my videos. We did, and I have a whole bunch of more to post when I actually get out of the mountains because my stuff don't download very well. Okay, so the resort across the street is, and they're trying to squeeze people out. and Heather was what's the top appraiser in this area for a couple of years. Okay, more than a couple. Okay, she knows her, and that's why. Okay, she's been to every meeting. When the resort started, when the resort bought the property across the street from it, they had to be meeting, and none of the people in the subdivision, which was the first subdivision in this area, wanted to go into resort. Why would you? All the noise that the resort comes in, they already got plans to expand the airport so they can have bigger planes. I can hear the smaller planes from what the airport's only like I don't know, maybe 2 miles, a mile and a half. It's kind of uphill, so it seems longer. Okay, and no, everybody voted against it, but it's going in anyway, right across the street. They got 6 acres. I've got videos you guys can go on, especially on TikTok. I'm on TikTok now. I actually spend more time on TikTok. I appreciate you guys get over to TikTok and follow me over there, because when I spend an eighth of the time on TikTok I spend here, I'll be making enough money where I can lower prices down. Bam! Okay, anyway, so yeah, and the airport wants to have it where they can land bigger planes and do all this stuff. And when I came here, I went out to the restaurant, to fancy places to hang out with people, and just kind of get to talk to people. And I talked to one guy one day at Hudson's. They have really good food and stuff. And he told me, oh yeah, he was really excited about the big resort going in over on 189, which is like a block away from where he lives. And I said, oh wow, that sounds like a nice place. How big is it gonna be? Oh, it's gonna be 65 acres. Oh, wait a minute. They only have 6 acres. It's gonna be 65 acres. Yeah, and Heather said they've already bought a bunch of houses. They've been buying, the corporations have, the shell corporations, the fake LA or whatever, they've been buying houses or whatever. I think they'd like to put the resort in. Okay, but who wants to crush all these beautiful houses and do all this stuff? I would want to make it a resort with all these fancy houses and stuff where people can just come and pay like $1 million and stay in a house for a day. I mean, okay, this is not funny, okay? But, when you think of it from a coaching perspective and with all of the stuff that I see. Okay, so Heather got out this big giant map because, like I said, she started showing me all the map was from a few years back, and you could actually see the difference in the zoning. A lot of the stuff is right outside the city, but it's considered in the city, so the city money is paying for that shit and paying, yeah, it's all twisted up. But you know what? We don't care what they do. They're not taking my friend's property or anybody else's property in that area. And actually, Heather's lawsuit, she's jamming the ass up for the permit over there to build on the 6 acres to 65 acres. Jamming the ass up for the permit. And she's suing Christina Harper. And, she's suing quite a bit of people. And we got an order after one day to move it another 100 miles away. Let me think. How's this work out? To drag you in 4 different courts, run you all over the place, sell your house while you're in bankruptcy court, and then dismiss the bankruptcy. And then they're sending people to your house telling you got to move out. We bought your house, you got to move out, but there's no, oh wait. And then a crappy ass attorney named James Lanahan contacted her after he did really crappy work for her. Contacts her recently. That's what I told her. Somebody's going to reach out to you because they need to control this. They don't like the way you're doing it. And he did. And he don't even do foreclosure stuff. Yeah. So this Rico package I'm going to put together, and I'm going to put it on the website for what I said. I didn't know what I said a while ago. Well, I know, but I don't want to repeat it again. Okay, so if y'all actually new here, y'all had to go watch the whole thing to figure out what the hell we're going to put that. We're going to sell that for. And like I said, I was going to make a man damage, but I'd rather just make it a premium package. And I need some videos on it, or some review videos on it, so people can see the fight and everything too. So, guys, thank you for the value of sharing your time. I need to go find something to snack on.